Miracle Marketing Podcast, where we bring you interviews from business owners, celebrity guests, and hot topics. I am your host, Brandon Adams, along with my co-host, super producer, Big Perryon. Big Perryon, how's it going out there in the ATL today?
It is great, man. It is beautiful, and I'm really enjoying this weather now. How about you? How about out there?
It's starting to heat up. Got a chance to go to the park yesterday, do some skating, but it's a little windy today, but can't complain. I'm enjoying the sunshine. So, on today's show, we have a very special guest. This man has worked with, man, his resume is so deep. I'm going to just mention some of the people that he has worked with. I mean, he's worked with everybody in the industry. We got Neo, Chris Brown, Fergie, shoot, just a little bit of everybody. He's an NAACP award winner. He's worked on Stomp The Yard. He's worked with Dwayne The Rock Johnson. So without any further ado, welcome to the show, my boy Chuck Maldonado. Chuck, how are you today, sir?
I am doing amazing. Thank you for asking. Just blessed.
Great, great, great. Man, I haven't seen you in a minute. I think the last time I seen you was at the Bebo Awards.
Oh, wow. That was a long
in
time
LA.
ago.
Yeah. That was a while ago. So how's it been, man? How you been doing?
I've been doing really well. I cannot complain. Just, navigating and still working in this industry. Been doing it since 1996. I can't believe I've been doing this that long.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's great. You work with a lot of people, man. So real quick, how did you get started doing choreography?
To be honest with you, I did the whole college thing first. Went to an HBCU, graduated from North Carolina A&T State University. From there, I started working for American Express. Then corporate America wasn't a thing for me. I decided to move forward to get another degree. And then I became a high school teacher in DeKalb County School Systems in Atlanta. And then that's where I met Lisa Left Eye Lopez from TLC. From meeting her, we got really tight, and she pretty much guided me through and said, I know that you're a teacher, but I feel like your gift is in dance. You should consider doing that as your first career. I did. And that's pretty much how I started. Pretty much so through the guidance of Lisa Left Eye Lopez from TLC. From there, she gave me her first group, which was Black. And first single came out, Boom Like an 808. And I quit my job as a teacher, and that's when I started my career with the group Black. From they were signed to Columbia Records at the time.
Yeah, I met Brandy Williams and a few times from Black.
Yeah, my
she's
girl.
cool. Yep. Big Perryon, go ahead.
You look so familiar, and your name is very, even before I saw your bio. Have you ever worked with athletes?
Athletes? Not really. No. I mean, I've done stuff for. I mean, not really. Not an athlete per se. Why? Why you say that?
I used to be signed to Roy Jones Jr. when he had Bodyhead Entertainment, and I know it's a lot of athletes who have become artists or do music on the side. So I was wondering, had you ever did anything with any artists that were athletes?
Yeah, I had to it took me a while to register, only because I'm thinking I've done so much stuff, I've done shows for sports stuff, but not an athlete. So or at least I didn't know they were an athlete.
You're not like teaching Shaq how to dance or anything like that.
Yeah. So yeah, so you live in Atlanta. I lived in Atlanta for quite a few years, like 9 or 10 years.
Yes. I'm originally from Florida, Pensacola.
Okay.
And then I came up here for the music, and been here ever since 2007.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got to Atlanta in 1993.
Wow. Right
That's
when
like around Freaknik.
Believe me, I was all over Freaknik. and I'm a Kappa too, you know, I'm a newt, so
Okay,
all the
okay.
Greeks go out, you know, we're always out there.
Shout out to
That's dope.
and the Kappas.
The
Yes.
Yos.
Yo.
Yes, sir. I just worked with some Noops in South Carolina for their 75th diamond anniversary. I did some work for them at Benedict College.
Oh, Benedict.
This past weekend.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm surrounded by Noops.
Okay, well then you're well protected.
Yes, sir. Yes, yes, sir.
So Chuck, I wanted to ask you, how I see you work with like Chris Brown, you work with Kanye West, you work with Missy, out of Neo, Usher just coming off of the Super Bowl. So how did all of this come about with you working with so many big names?
Well, you know, when I first got to LA, I started working with Missy pretty much so right away. I had auditioned for one of her music videos, and the music video was Get Your Freak On. I had been in LA maybe about a week and a half, and I was blessed enough to have booked that job. And from that helped me get the next job, and that helped me get the next job, and just went on and on. With Missy, I started dancing with her first, and then they brought me in as an assistant choreographer. And while I was getting experience as a choreographer, I started doing choreography for people that I've already been dancing for in the past. So that was like the beginning of all that. But long story short, I really wanted to concentrate more on TV and film. So my first movie that I danced in was From Justin to Kelly. And then I did You Got Served. From You Got Served, that's when I realized that, yeah, this is what I really, really want to do. And they're on 33 movies later, here I am. I've done over 33 films. So all dance, some of them may have not been dance films, but still had movement. So either I got to choreograph or be in it.
Wow. And how does that make you feel when you see your product? Like if you're not in the movie, but you did the choreography for it, how does it make you feel when you finally see it on the big screen?
At first, I'm nervous because I'm like, I don't know what it's gonna look like. Sometimes things don't read off the same live as they do on film. The other thing is that I'm not in control of the editing. So you never know what they cut out, what they leave, what they don't leave, and it can look really crazy and weird. So at first I'm nervous. Then once I see the final product, then most of the time I'm extremely happy. But there've been some times that I'm like, I don't like the way they edit it. You know what? When I did Stomp The Yard, the first time I saw Stomp The Yard, I hated it. I didn't like. I was upset because I felt like there was a lot of dance moves and a lot of other moments that were better than the ones that they kept. So only because I knew the choreography, I knew that there were other movements that were better, but I wasn't in control of that. After a while, it took about a year and a half, and then it grew on me. And then as I started forgetting what I had choreographed, this started to make more sense to me, and now I love it.
Yes. Have you ever wanted to? Have you ever did a movie, and said to yourself, "I would rather do the moves myself than show this guy how to do it because I could pull it off better"?
As far as an actor is concerned, or a dancer?
Yeah, well, both.
Well, dancer, no, because usually I do really well in casting the right dancers.
Okay.
You know, I always try to pick the best of the best, people who know how to do my choreography. So I never felt that way about a dancer at all. As far as an actor, I have no control over actors. So I don't cast them. So yeah, there are times that I wish I can just get in that person's body and do it for them. But as a choreographer, what I've learned, especially in TV and film, because you're going to work with a lot of people that are not really dancers, is that you have to find what looks good on their body, what makes sense to them. And then I start to create from that. And that's what I usually do. And it usually comes out really good because dancers are, of course, are the background, and they do most of the heavy dancing anyway. And as long as you're bringing them in and out of choreography and some of the important moments, it'll look like they're doing the whole entire thing. A lot of people think that like Chris Brown is dancing from beginning to end, or Usher is dancing from beginning to end. But the reality of it is that they just come in and out so much, you don't even realize that they're out of the choreo. So, and it still looks good. No one ever complains about it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Have you ever worked on like you know how dancers go on tour? Have you ever been a part of choreographing their whole set for their tour?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I either choreograph numbers in it. Like for example, I did Backstreet Boys. That when they came back to Vegas, that's a live stage show. I've done Neil's tour. You know, quite a few people. Missy Elliott. You know, so yeah. Either I'm doing new choreography or choreography that we might have done for a music video, which I'm reteaching to dancers for live show, or we're doing it for an award show, which is a live show as well. It's almost the same thing as a tour, you know, because you're up there live. You only get one chance to do it. And if you mess up, you can't erase it. You just got to keep moving forward with it. But yeah, I love doing live stage shows as well. But my thing is still film. But yeah, I've done a lot of tours. I mean, Black is, you know, my first tour. That's how I started, you know, creating choreography for artists. I did Kelly Price, and I was when Lisa Left Eye Lopez started her solo project, I started working with her on her solo project, you know, and those were all stage tours.
What do
Have you
find is
ever
oh, go ahead.
Oh, you good. Go ahead, bro.
I just have one question. What do you find is most challenging out of everything?
As far as live show,
Live
like
shows, film, videos, all of it.
I think reality TV for competition, like So You Think You Could Dance and Dancing with the Stars, and shows like America's Best Dance Crew, because I was one of the choreographers for that as well, was a lot more difficult for me. Only because it's very demanding, it's very quick, and they have to get it done right then and there. What I've learned about a show like So You Think You Could Dance, it started becoming So You Think You Can Choreograph, which really wasn't about me as a choreographer, but if the contestants were messing up, then it felt like it fell back on me. And they literally learned that choreography piece like in 2 days, and the third day they're already on live camera filming it and competing. So they get that much time to learn it. And I'm not the only person that teach. That's not the only routine they learn for that day. So they have to learn 2, 3, 4 routines. And here it is, you know, I'm over here sweating because I don't know if they're going to be able to get through it. And there was one particular situation where the dancers couldn't get through it. And I felt like I could just crawl underneath a rock, because even though it wasn't my fault, it is a competition. It still felt like everyone was looking at me like, ooh, you messed up. You know what I'm saying? So that makes it really hard for me. I hated the process.
Wow.
It was like this, and it was like sometimes you get good dancers, sometimes you don't, sometimes they can get through it, sometimes they can't. And a lot of times when they brought me in there, to do, I've done a couple of hip hop routines, but mostly they were bringing me in to do stepping. And that's a form of art that a lot of people don't study, don't know, don't understand. And when you're getting technicians, meaning technical jazz, ballet, lyrical dancers, they totally don't have the, you know, the art. You can't get it down in one day or 2 days. It's not their fault. It's difficult. It's like me teaching you how to do ballet. If you have to perform it in 2 more days, you likely will fail because you never done it before.
For sure. You just I was letting you finish. You just spoke one of your next biggest shows on our podcast.
Yeah.
So you think you can choreograph?
So you think? Oh, is that what it is? I know, right? Sometimes they don't have a show like that.
You should be that should be a project of yours in the near future, where you bring on some of the artists that you've worked with throughout the years as guest hosts on different episodes, and you know, up and coming choreographers, have them on there doing steps, doing, you know, trying to coach little teams, almost like making a band, but doing it with choreographers.
You know, it's funny that you say that. There was a few choreographers and producers that tried and pitched such type shows, and for some reason they never got picked up.
They don't have your name.
I never understood why. So I kind of looked at it like, ooh, maybe there's a reason for that. But yeah, you're right. Maybe I should try to do something like that.
Yeah,
I think
it's your name because your name stands out even when you're looking at the credits in movies.
Mhm.
It stands out. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? So it's some people. It isn't always about who they know. It's about the gift that God has placed on you. You know,
Yes.
and if you are anointed to do certain things, it doesn't matter where other people come from. That's gonna follow you. The success is it gravitates to you. You know, just
Yeah.
like when you said about Lisa Lopez, when you were saying that you came to her in one form and she said you should do this,
Mhm.
and that changed the trajectory of your life.
It did.
A lot
Yeah.
of things don't work for a lot of people, but when you put your name and your brand on it, it turned into success.
I believe that.
Just something to think about. When you
Right.
said it, you were still flowing, but it stuck with me, and I was just waiting just to say you just spoke your next show. I'm telling
Yeah.
you got like the Les twins as
Yeah.
guest hosts. It's just different people from around the world.
Right. Right.
Big.
Yeah.
Chuck,
Yeah.
how was it working with The Rock?
It was good. We did the MTV Movie Awards with The Rock. First of all, he is an amazing person.
Mhm.
I mean, he's an amazing talent. We all know that. But as a person, he's even better. He's always was really kind, professional. I don't know. He worked really hard. He spoke to everybody, every dancer, of course, the choreography team. He was there, on time. He was just amazing. I couldn't believe it. And you know what's so funny is the biggest stars that are usually the easiest sometimes to work with, you know. And yeah, he was amazing. Would love to work with him again. That's like once in a lifetime opportunity. Because how many times is The Rock gonna really dance? Probably never.
Right.
So this one thing, they were honoring him, and because they were honoring him, he wanted to bring both cultures, like his black side and his Samoan side. So we had Samoans do Samoan type dancing, and we had male dancers, mostly African American dancers, doing stepping. We did stepping. So that's what he wanted. That's what we gave him, and he came down the middle. He did his little thing, and that was it. It was fun. It was definitely a great job, and he was a great person to work with.
That's great.
Have you done the Super Bowl yet?
Oh my God! Now that you, that's the only one thing that I have not done. I've done the Olympics. I've done the opening for what is it called? The soccer, the big soccer thing.
The World Cup.
The World Cup. The World Cup.
Yeah.
I've done the World Cup. I've done the Olympics, but I have not done the Super Bowl.
That's coming.
It's gotta
coming.
come.
It's in New Orleans. It's in New Orleans this year. So Chuck, we're gonna see you in New Orleans doing the Super Bowl. I'm claiming it right now.
Yes.
I received that in Jesus' name.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, I can see the second line, incorporating the second line. That'll be hot.
We had another choreographer on the show, dancer, Amanda LeCount, not long ago. Have you ever worked with her or met her?
I don't know. I definitely have not worked with her. I saw that's the link that I think you sent me about her. I saw the interview, some of it. No, I've worked with her.
Yeah, she's worked with a lot of people as well. So I was wondering if you guys ever crossed paths.
No, not as far as work is concerned.
Okay.
Is it ever a beef between choreographers? Have you ever gotten into a beef with another?
Me personally, no.
Okay.
I'm not that type of person, but I'm sure that there have been beef in the past with other choreographers. But it's never like the beef. If they have had beef in the past, it's never like a fighting beef. It's it's more of a verbal. I don't know what kind of beef, because I
can do this better than you can.
I mean, when I think of dancers fighting, I just start laughing. I'm like, I've never seen dancers fight, or choreographers. I'm not saying that they never have. I have never seen. you know.
Yeah.
But no, not me. And I will never, I can't, there's no reason to, for me.
With Michael Jackson, didn't they have a little fight scene where they danced off on Bad?
What was a dance off? A fight off?
Yeah,
it was like a dance off. Yeah.
A dance fight off.
I, I know I wanted to ask you too. How does dancing live translate into when you're doing animation?
Oh, that's a good question. So look, I can tell you the process. So
Okay.
first I find out, I read the script and I find out more about the characters and what their body shapes are like, because that makes a big difference. So for example, I did a movie called Shark Tale. Will Smith played Oscar, the fish. And fish don't have legs and fingers and things. So when I'm choreographing for a fish, the movements are going to be a lot different had I been choreographing for a bear, a squirrel, a raccoon, or even a human cartoon. So first, that's the first thing. So once I find out what the character looks like and how their limbs work and whether they have fingers or arms or feet or not, then I start choreographing from there. Once I choreograph it, I teach it to my assistants. My assistants get on camera. They bring in all the animators. Sometimes we do wear the suits. Sometimes you don't have to, because they'll just film us. They'll catch us from all different angles, and they film the whole entire dance sequence. They take that back to the office and they start to do the sketching from there, or the drawing of the movement. Yeah.
You don't have to
like
do
a
anything
lot.
weird, like you don't have to do anything weird, like lay down on a platform and move your hands and move like
No,
that.
no.
Like they take it from you actually dancing.
Yeah, from the film. So it's like me filming you moving right now. Then I take that and I start to draw or animate you. I start to make
How it would look for a fish to dance.
And
Okay.
sometimes like this, like I just finished doing a film called Max in the Midnight for Paramount Studios and Slash and Nickelodeon. There were two studios that actually did the film, and some of the characters didn't have necks, or they looked like this, or their arms were really really short, or the legs were short. So certain movements looked really weird on them, because if I did a head thing like this, they couldn't do it. They just looked like this. So so I had to adjust and find a movement that wouldn't be so weird looking on some of the characters. So yeah.
That's dope. when you have to, I want to go back to the like Dancing with the Stars. When you're doing something that's more fast paced, where you don't have the time of like weeks to prepare, do you have like a repertoire where you say, okay, I'm gonna use this move and then I'll use this move, and do you have like a stash of moves, or you just come up with some on the fly?
No. Well, okay, let me take that back. We always have a library of movements that we use, that we have. That's what makes us different from each other. Like some people could look at some of the work that I've done and they can look at it and say, oh, that looks like something Chuck Maldonado would have choreographed. And they find out, oh, he did do that. I can tell by his style. So yes, I have a library of movements that I use. But again, depending on the job, it may cause for me to have to get out of my own box and into another different genre of dance. Like it could be African or ballroom or maybe tap or something that I'm not as familiar with as hip hop or jazz or some other forms that I do know. So that causes me to have to do some research or bring in assistants that are really strong in those and that genre of dance to help me create the actual final product.
And how long does it take you to come up with an idea or just a foundation?
Most of the time, the idea is already there. They bring it to you, and you just have to choreograph around that idea. So, for example, the idea was we're doing a movie about Black college life, HBCU, and Black fraternities. Okay, so we need stepping. Okay, so I already know that the idea is the genre is stepping, and the idea is to create iconic stepping movements that's going to make the movie look amazing. And then from there is when I start to do research and find out, what's going on now, what are they doing, how's this going to look, how can I take it to the next level, and I create from that. Like I knew, like for a movie like Stomp the Yard, I started off with traditional style stepping, and then I included more dance and other movements that at the time we weren't really doing.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Chuck, do you have any upcoming projects that you want to talk to us about?
I kind
Or
of just
able to talk to us about?
yeah, I just kind of just talked about Max in the Midnight. I just finished doing that project. Also, there's a TV show coming out called Mind Your Business, and that should be coming out on, I think it's, oh, I don't look, I forgot the network, so I'm not even gonna say because I forgot. Look at me crazy. Anyway, but those are two of the latest projects that I just did, and I'm looking forward, especially to Max in the Midnights, because it's an animated musical, and it's a lot of singing, a lot of dancing. It's animated. It has 20 episodes. Like I said earlier, Paramount Studios is doing it with Nickelodeon.
Wow.
Yeah,
we will definitely
That's
be on the
beautiful.
lookout for that.
yeah, I'm really excited about that project.
Do you have any other things going on, like any type of brands like clothing or any?
No, I don't. But I'm looking to. I did have a dance studio a while back, a couple of years ago,
Mhm.
and I'm looking to. And we kind of our lease ran out after 3 years, so I'm looking to redo another one, another studio. So that's what I really want to concentrate on right now. That's what I'm really doing, is trying to build a safe place for dancers to come and have rehearsal. I want it to be, state of the art. I want it to be amazing so that we can have rehearsal there for like the Oscars, the Emmys, for movies, for commercials, all TV and film. So that's really what I'm really praying that I can get in the near future. So that's what I'm really concentrating on right now.
That's dope.
Is
Yep.
there anybody that you have not worked with that you've always wanted to work with?
Yes, there's probably a lot of people that I want to work with, but I think one of the person the most that I want to work with is Janet Jackson. I really want to work with her. I've always wanted to dance for her. I never danced for her. There was a time that I was I was on tour. I think I was on, I forgot who I was on tour with, but I was on tour and I had gotten a small private call for an audition for Janet. It was literally going to be like 10 guys coming Oni, and they were going to choose like 8 of them. So that would have been the best time to go, but I was out of town and I couldn't even go to the audition. So anyway, but Janet definitely, because she's an icon. Number one, number two, I love her sharp, grooved out type movements. It just fits my style really good, and she's never stepped. I would love to put stepping on her.
That's dope.
Yeah, the
And
closest
and you're plugging her shirt right now. Isn't that a Janet shirt?
oh my God, I didn't even realize I did. Yes, I did a Janet shirt because I went to her last tour. Look, I didn't even realize I had this on. That's
I
crazy.
just happened to see it said Janet on there.
Okay, so maybe this is my way of manifesting this is gonna happen.
Janet,
You know what I'm
if you're
saying?
listening, you're on our Chuck want to work with you. You heard it first on the Miracle Marketing Podcast.
Yes,
Yeah, we're gonna put it out there.
Yeah.
It's gonna happen.
Yes, it's gonna happen for sure.
Well, real quick, we're running out of time. If you got anything, where can everybody follow you? Where can they find you? And any other last things you want to plug?
Yeah. Well, as far as social media, it's always Chuck Maldonado. Everything is Chuck Maldonado. I don't care if it's X, whatever, Twitter, whatever they call it now, Instagram, Facebook, all of it is the same, just my name. And yeah, I just want to tell everybody thank you so much for tuning in, listening. I never take it lightly when people take the time to want to interview me, try to or listen to the things that I've done or my path is and I'm just grateful and thankful. Thank you again for having me, and I appreciate everything that you guys are doing.
Oh no,
Thank
no
you.
problem,
Thank
man.
you.
Next time I'm back home in LA, I got to hit you up and meet up because, like I said, I hadn't seen you in a few years. It's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a while. Definitely hit me up. I'm here.
Most definitely. Well, thank you, Chuck, for coming on. Perry, you got any last words?
I just want to say, man, keep being great. It's a beautiful thing to see people out there living their dream and living their, and loving what they do. And it's exciting to be able to interview a person of your caliber, who's done so much and is so talented. So I thank you for being on our show and giving us your time.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for allowing me to be on your platform. I really appreciate it.
No problem. Well, thank you everybody for tuning in. Thank you, Chuck, for taking the time out of your day to be on the show. We really appreciate it. Big things coming. Janet, you heard him. He wants to work with you. You heard it here on the Miracle Marketing Podcast. Thanks, gentlemen. Have a great day. Thanks again, Chuck.
Thank you.
All right.
Peace out.